Everyone's got a style, but mine didn't come from nowhere. It's a mix of 1960s cool, modern streetwear, and a little bit of my own flavor. Here's what really shapes how I dress today. 1960s meets streetwear. It's something I kind of stumbled into at first, just being drawn to the vibes and aesthetics of the 1960s. Over time, though, I started intentionally weaving elements of that decade into my wardrobe. I'm less about the sharper, tailored suits from the early 60s and more into the preppy, counterculture looks that closed the decade and carried into the 1970s. Think polos, open knit shirts, tailored trousers, and low-cut footwear. Some of this inspiration actually comes from the final seasons of Mad Men, my all-time favorite show, but I add my own spin, mixing in sneakers, layering pieces, and the occasional hat. Arguably my favorite era of fashion, not just for the history and aesthetic, but because the fits genuinely suit me pretty well. 2 is research. It might sound a little tacky or over-analytical, but digging into what actually fits me and works best for my body has made such a huge difference. From figuring out what shirt cuts flatter me, to learning which undertones complement my skin, which is a whole nother deep dive, to finding the right inseam so pants don't look so baggy on me or too short, especially on someone my height since I'm 5'7". Of course, research only goes so far because you still have to try things on. That's led to plenty of trial and error. Some pieces nailed the fit, but clashed in color. Others look great in theory, but didn't work in practice. Still, reading blogs, articles, and watching style videos has been key to helping me learn, refine my wardrobe, and ultimately dress in a way that makes me feel my best. 3 is men's fashion pages. Now, I know this is going to sound a little bit repetitive because here we are. There are tons of fashion creators out there, but what's unique is that everyone's style is different. No two are exactly the same. You can take a page from so many of them, whether they're sharing daily outfits, giving tips on trends and where fashion is headed, or reviewing pieces from other brands. These creators can be an incredible pool of information, but at the same time, they can also be a little overwhelming because following too many voices at once can overload you and lead you to being confused about the direction that you want to take. My advice ultimately is to hone in on a few different creators whose style and perspective really resonate with you. That way you'll get inspiration without losing a sense of direction. Next is preppy. That clean, preppy aesthetic is another big influence on my style. It's all about the classic tailoring that strikes that balance. Not too baggy, not too skinny. Sharp button-ups, loafers, and polos create a look that's simple, polished, and perfect for casual outings without feeling overdressed. What I like most is that it doesn't rely on loud statement pieces either. Instead, it's about the quiet details and the sharp fit that always speaks for itself. It also ties in perfectly with my 1960s inspiration, since both share a love for timeless staples that can be dressed up or dressed down. For me, preppy style is less about fitting into a mold and more about using clean lines and versatile pieces as a foundation. Of course, then mixing in my own touches through sneakers, layering, or modern accessories. Last but not least is mod subculture. When it comes to subcultures, most burn bright and fade fast. Think the greasers, punks, or emos, but one has stood the test of time, in my opinion, the mods. Emerging in the late 1950s Britain, mods were young, stylish, and determined to stand apart. They ditched tradition in favor of sleek Italian suits, sharp haircuts. They had a constant drive to look sharp and different, and that's what influences my style today. I take cues from their adaptability, which is always modern and never static, including staples like slim fit trousers, Harrington jackets, knitted polos, and loafers, which continue to inspire the way I put outfits together today. A bonus inspiration is watching people along the street, especially walking along the crazy, chaotic paths of New York City, where you can see all different kinds of fashion inspiration everywhere you look around you. Whether you go down to Wall Street and you see suits, you go into the Lower East Side and you see something more fashion forward. You might see something kind of in between if you go into a Murray Hill or in the Upper East Side or even going on the Upper West Side. There's different influences all over the city, and it's honestly cool just to people watch sometimes and see what they're wearing and say, maybe this is an idea I can take for myself. It doesn't have to actually be what they're wearing specifically, but maybe in a sense of how they're layering their clothes, the style of shoe, maybe if their pants look a certain way, maybe if their shirt is a certain color. I think, I don't have any purple shirts in my closet right now. Maybe I can go for something like that. So I always like using my eye when I'm walking around New York City to see, maybe I can take some inspiration here. So these are the main influences on my style, not counting actual people who've inspired me. Everyone's influenced by something, and sometimes you might not even realize what you're influenced by. Subscribe for more videos and drop a comment below about what inspires your own fashion sense. And I'll see you all in the next video.